Shalom. Welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with the Chabad House of Delmar, together with my co-host Mark Ronich of Statewide News Service, jbiztechvalley.com, and now columnist for the Jewish Press.
And I'm having a lot of fun doing all of that. And someone else who's very busy these days is our guest, Larry Slatky. He's the executive director of the Albany County Nursing Home.
Correct.
So welcome to the Jewish View. It's
Happy to be here.
wonderful to have you here. It's, I've been wanting you on the show for a while now.
You know, Larry, your reputation really comes ahead of you because Mark and I have so many different politicians on the Jewish View, and you know, one of the big budget holes was, they said the Albany Nursing Home, they're ready to close it up. It's such a, you say in Yiddish, a lachenkap, a hole in the head.
Right.
But then they say, all right, we'll try it, we'll hire somebody, and they just say you're a phenomenal success.
Well, thank you. It's a lot of teamwork. We work together, staff, families, even the residents.
Unions
are a big part of it. We couldn't have gotten where we are today without the cooperation of the unions. We have NICIP and 1199. Both were very cooperative in working with me and lowering some of our costs, and that was beneficial. Clearly, you can't say enough about how Dan McCoy has helped me and his entire staff, the legislature. It goes on and on.
Dan McCoy is a loyal friend to you.
He's been doing a great job, not only for, I think, Albany, but clearly whatever I need at the nursing home, he's been unbelievably supportive.
And you bringing down the cost of the nursing home, it's not totally profitable, but maybe one day it will be, if it's allowed to be.
Well, it can be.
I
mean, there's no reason why it can't be. Right now, there's still contributions that are being made by the county. There's different drawdowns that we get from the federal government. It's called IGT, Intergovernmental Transfer dollars, that we can't get without a payment from the county to draw down that money. It's 50-50 match, more or less. So they contribute that. We have a decent budget. I mean, we're still working on revenue cycle and lowering expense, becoming more efficient.
When did you become the director?
Officially July 1st, 2014.
14. And you were a consultant before then?
From January 1st of that year till June 30th.
Oh, you were 6 months.
6 months.
Okay, and then you became the director, but your salary was on par with what you were getting as a consultant.
More or less the same.
More or less the same. $325,000?
That's exactly correct.
Okay.
Mark's our good reporter.
It's only in the paper every other day.
I'm impressed with that.
Yeah, it's in the paper a lot.
So I'm not speaking out of school, is what I'm saying. Plus it's a public position, so it's all public record.
Just give us maybe the vital, for our viewers, how many beds are there? How many, can I call them, residents? Maybe that
well, residents, we have 250 licensed beds. We have, on average, around 225 residents per day. Once we complete our renovations, which should start hopefully in the next 90 to 120 days, we'll be able to have more swing beds in the facility and go up to the total capacity of 250.
What are swing beds?
Well, right now, if you have...
Aside from a hammock. I mean, I just...
Well, our units are 40-bed units. And if you take 6 times 40 is 240.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're renovating 320-bed units, creating 90 beds, meaning licensed beds that we could utilize to give us the 250. Once those are in place, we will be able to go from 90 to 100 on those 3 units because they hold up to 120.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll have residents that cannot be housed or with other residents, so it takes up some of the bed capacity. So you have X number of private rooms, and once they're used up, sometimes a double-bedded room becomes a private room because of the nature of the care required of that resident.
But who calls to the Albany nursing if they don't have any means?
Oh, no, that's not so.
Really? That's what I really thought.
I mean, we admit residents that other nursing homes do not. I mean, that's our mission. I mean,
because of money, or because they're so difficult to maintain?
It has nothing to do with money. No, it has to do with the care that the resident requires, whether it be behavioral issues, sometimes.
Alzheimer's, those kind of things.
It could be. Most of them are behavior problems,
Really?
or more so than Alzheimer's. It could be Alzheimer's and a behavior problem.
That's right, yeah. Well,
Sometimes they go hand in hand, sometimes they don't. But we will admit residents that other facilities in the capital region do not admit. It has nothing to do with finances. It has to do with the care that's required.
And people pay, I mean, if they have the means, they pay straight out to the Albany County.
Right,
nursing
we'll
home.
have a private rate.
Really, I really thought it was just the people who didn't have any means.
Oh, not so.
well,
see,
this
I-
is
no.
why we have the show, so
Yeah,
we
I know.
can
Yeah, not so.
dispel all these.
Not so. We have right now, I think this morning, we had around 13 private pay residents in the facility. We probably have around 20 Medicare, HMO, managed care, which is outside of the Medicaid program, short-term. Sometimes they're long-term Medicare, which is the 100 days, and then they get switched over to Medicaid or private pay. No, it's about the care.
Now, you mentioned about this match between the federal government and the county government. If we wanted to wean the county government off of any payments to the nursing home, then you lose the federal funds?
The answer would be yes and no. It's very
I mean,
complicated.
it kind of makes you,
In order to get the match, the
Yeah.
county has to come up with the 50% share.
yeah.
That being said, if the nursing home is doing well and there's profit,
Yeah.
that profit could offset the county share.
Okay, so you gotta have profit. So let's say.
Well, you could call it profit.
No,
That's why I
but-
said yes and no.
But let's call it profit for argument's sake,
Okay.
just as a term, okay? Not in,
Right.
not by definition. is
That's
what I-
correct.
okay. Of, let's say, $1.5 million. And then, so the federal government would give you half of that $1.5
So
million?
let's say our IGT is 4 million.
Okay.
In order to get the 4 million, the
Yes.
county has to contribute 2 million.
2 million, so you have to, or have a surplus of 2 million.
That's right. The county, it's in the budget, where they vote on our budget. That includes the IGT payment.
Because I'm thinking that there's, the sense on some of the county legislators' parts that they want to wean the county off of giving any money to, at some point, to the nursing home.
I think that's correct, and that's our goal. Our
Okay.
goal is to be budget neutral, and I
But
work
then
on
you-
that every day.
But then you lose the federal funding,
No,
budget neutral.
no, if that's not so. The county will make that contribution,
Uh,
and if in fact the contribution could be paid back to the county.
So you're saying that if the county gives you $2 million, if you're budget neutral, the county gives you another 2 million, you get the 4 million from the feds, you can give the 2 million back to the county?
Well, it would, if in fact we're doing well and that money's left over,
You can give it back to the county?
well, you're not really giving it back. It's part of your budget, because the money's supposed to go to the nursing home operation.
See, the
So-
county clerk runs the surplus and gives money back to the county.
That's correct.
So I'm thinking that you could give money back to the
I
county.
can't really speak to it because I'm not sure exactly how it
Okay,
works and
okay.
how it would go back.
Because it's never happened.
Well, yeah, it's true, it's never happened. But traditionally, that's the county share, that the county pays that dollar amount,
2 million. That's
as
it,
an example,
As an example.
right,
Okay.
to get the drawdown.
Okay. But you're
And-
saying the drawdown from the feds, the IGT, is
That's
a
right.
maximum 4 million?
No.
No. What's the maximum?
Oh, it depends.
It's
Medical.
the federal government, it could be any.
No, it's not. It's based on, really, originally, it was based on losses
I
and
joke.
and Medicaid days.
Yes.
So if you're a larger facility or a government hospital, as an example, a
Right.
government hospital could have an IGT payment of 40 million, as an example.
Okay. Wow. They just keep dishing out the money, the feds, huh?
Well, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but a lot of government facilities, because of who they admit and because of their mission, wouldn't be able to operate today if it wasn't for IGT money.
You have a lot of experience in this field. You have been through 4 or 5 facilities, mainly on Long Island, before you came up here?
Before I came
You
here,
were at New Health.
I was with New Health for approximately 12 years.
Right.
I
and
ran
then, I don't know, before that you were,
Waterview Nursing Care Center.
okay, Waterview. And then before that?
Before that, I was at Hillside Manor in Jamaica Estates, Queens.
Right, okay. It's the Cuomo's home territory. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So did you? So as you moved around, to these, you gained a lot of experience based on all the trials and tribulations of those other facilities.
That is 100% true. I mean, it's hard to believe, but I started as a maintenance man in 1968
Okay.
in a nursing home in the Bronx, Parkview Nursing Home it was called.
Oh yeah, I know.
And from there, I became a bookkeeper, did payables, receivables, payroll. I was too young to sit for my exam. You had to be 21 to get your license.
Mm.
So eventually the owner there made me assistant administrator, which you didn't need a license for, in 3 of his facilities. So I worked 2 days in every facility.
Not every maintenance guy would be trusted to run, the bookkeeping operation,
He liked me.
You weren't just a maintenance guy, obviously, because,
Well, I worked hard, and listen, I did everything. I was a dishwasher. I was the night watchman with the D-Tex clock, walking around, punching the clock. I started from literally the ground floor, and then eventually got my license. The owner at the time, who passed away, was a very nice man. But prior to that, he had a little bit of an argument with a family member that ran one of his facilities out in Far Rockaway. And he said, "Go run the place." And I said, "Al, I just got my license, it's like 2 months ago." Simple. He said, "You just go in, just tell people what to do."
And how old were you then?
21.
Wow.
21.
Wow, you were pinching yourself.
Yeah. And then from there, he ended up a couple years later selling that facility.
Yeah.
And I ended up going up to White Plains, opening a brand new facility up there that at the time, they changed the name, but at the time it was called Tippett's Healthcare Facility. And opened that place from the ground floor. It was under construction.
Wow.
And then after that job, I spent around 6 years working in Jersey, doing home care, nursing homes. The owner of that nursing home owned home care facilities, so I used to open up all of his home care facilities and run the nursing home. And then I worked, I had a short stay at a government entity in Jersey. Didn't really like that, and came back to work for a good friend of mine, Judy Dicker at Hillside Manor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sweetheart of a lady.
What was the toughest part of any of these facilities for you? What didn't you like doing?
Well, I really enjoy most of it. The hard part sometimes is getting everyone together on the same page.
Right.
When you're dealing with proprietary sector, you're dealing with an owner-operator traditionally, usually 1 or 2 individuals, so you have to have a personality that blends with that owner, which doesn't always happen, so that becomes at times difficult. And at the same time, you're trying to run the facility on their behalf, and you're an administrator. You want to do your thing. And when you're working for someone, you can't always do your thing in a proprietary sector, and for that matter, in virtually any sector.
So who's the equivalent of the owner here in Albany County with the nursing home? I mean, is it the county executive?
Technically,
is it the county legislature? Is it the head of the health committee? Or, who's?
well, if you're looking at a board structure, technically it's almost all of the above, because board's made up a little bit of everybody. Technically, I report to Dan McCoy. He's my boss. I report everything to him or through his people to him.
So if the county legislators are telling you something, and you're listening, and you listen, and you nod your head, and then you go to Dan, and you say, I didn't like what this guy,
Well, that never happens. It really doesn't.
Really?
I will get calls from the county legislature on occasion, and if they ask me to do certain things, I go, okay, I'm going to have to run that through Dan. You understand that? And they understand.
Okay.
They're nice enough to understand, actually.
That's good.
I mean, what's the magic formula really you went from what, a $10 million deficit? That's what I think Dan McCoy was on our show a few times, down to $2 million?
No. I think the original, when I got there, I think the losses were in excess of around 14 million.
Dan would say $1 million a month.
That's correct. That would be exactly what he said.
That's right.
So it'd be between $12 and $14 million. There's other below the line items, that the nursing home is also obligated to pay. And right now, last year, the nursing home, with the IGT payment, with the legacy payment, historical payments, you may call them, the retiree health and pensions and so on. We probably closer to around 7 million.
So cut it in half for the most part.
For the most part,
As of now.
as of now.
So
as-
what was
as
the
we speak
magic
today.
key over here? I mean, a lot of millions is a lot of
A lot of millions.
Yeah.
A lot of millions. Yeah.
efficiency. I mean, duplication.
Totally
of-
efficiencies. I mean, you have to have and understand how to make a nursing home more efficient, and at the same time not compromising quality of care.
What did you find, where did you have to make these efficiencies? What did you find was inefficient?
Well, the first thing that I did, and that was during the consulting phase, was to review the collective bargaining agreements and start negotiating those to where they were more affordable. There's certain built-in expenses to a government entity, such as pension and health, that you really can't change. So they become permanent. Can't negotiate them. They're there. So everything is around that in order to protect that. So the understanding that I tried to convey to everyone that would listen to me is that these are givens. We're going to have a system where we're not going to have layoffs, but we need to have certain givebacks in order to support no layoffs, pension, and health. And when it was all put on paper, like I said, the unions, 1199, NICEP, were unbelievably cooperative in those negotiations.
It couldn't just be the attrition or the givebacks from the unions. I mean, there were internal efficiencies.
Oh, yes.
I mean, whether it was paperwork or having people, not just do a narrowly focused job and maybe a broader job, or
It wasn't about the work that they did. The staff work extremely hard at the nursing home, but it's how they get their job done and creating systems that are more efficient, or equipment that allows you to do the job in half the time,
okay,
such as a lifter.
yeah,
To move a resident from bed to wheelchair without a lifter could take a half an hour, 20 minutes. With a lifter could take 5 minutes.
I see.
One of the major changes we made, which I believe that I truly understand how to get this done, is the scheduling of staff, when they work, how they work, and putting together an efficient schedule versus an inefficient schedule.
And there were inefficient schedules.
It was
before.
totally inefficient. Like, as an example, the pay period for the nursing home was from Friday to Thursday. When you have a pay period in a 24/7 business, that's Friday to Thursday, and you have every other weekend off, Saturday and Sunday in the same work week. All right, doesn't work mathematically. I saw that right away. That was the first change that I made. So we changed the work week, again, with the cooperation of downtown and human resources. They were fantastic in assisting us with these changes. We changed the work week from Sunday to Saturday. So now when you're off the weekend, it's in 2 different work weeks.
Well, that was your bookkeeping experience, way
Correct.
back when.
That's right.
I mean, you brought all these little experiences along the
Right.
way to
Right.
where you are now.
Right, and we also got the staff in the beginning to work more weekends. So instead of every other weekend off, they would work 3 weekends and have 1 weekend off.
And how old are you now?
Right now, 65.
Okay.
Medicare.
I saw 63
Medicare.
somewhere. Okay, so 65. So, I mean, you're the golden boy here. And how much longer are you going to be in this position to work? I mean, could you see another 10 years?
Well, I don't see myself
Maybe your
10
wife,
years.
Maybe your wife doesn't want it. I don't know.
Well, my wife doesn't mind me working.
Okay.
Just as long as
Keeps
she
you out
can
of the
keep
house.
spending.
That's it. Making that $325,000.
Yeah,
piece of-
she don't.
goes to
Yeah,
Lord
she don't mind.
Lord and Taylor and Macy's. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm moving to Albany.
Yeah.
No,
So-
she'll figure a way.
Okay.
No, we've already been to every single shopping center in Albany.
So are you still is she still in Cold Spring Harbor?
She's still in Cold Spring Harbor. We're in the process of selling our home.
Oh,
We
you
just
are?
closed on a house in
Oh,
Albany.
Congratulations. In
Thank you.
Albany, in the
Yeah.
city,
Not in the city, but
Oh.
in Albany.
in
Like,
Albany County.
In Albany County.
What town?
Guilderland.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations.
Around 2 weeks ago. So I'm now here,
Yeah, okay.
paying taxes.
Yeah.
So-
Guilderland's a good place to be.
Yeah, no, I love it, and we love it. So we've been away from each other for a while, even though I go back home on certain weekends. She
So-
comes up to Albany on weekends over the last couple of years. So it's been a little strenuous.
Sure.
You know.
But now we have video chat and all that, so you
Oh
can
yeah, believe me,
see her and-
it works. It works. You know, it's really been fine because I'm at
Absence
work.
makes the heart grow fonder.
That's what they say. You know, but I'm at work. I spend
Yeah.
a lot of time there, and it's been okay.
You're not preparing a bed for yourself there, though, are you?
Not right now. Right now, I have a lot of plans for the home. You know, there's a lot of good stuff that we're going to be
Which
doing.
home? You one in Gilderland or the nursing home?
Nursing home. A lot of plans. You know, I don't worry about the house. The house is a house.
The house is your wife takes care of.
Let her take care of the house.
Okay.
You know.
So, so let
You're
me-
looking to
yeah.
be more efficient? I mean, do you see that budget? I mean, some million's still a lot of money.
Oh, we're definitely going to cut
Work
into that
on that.
deficit, there's no doubt. I mean, right now, the focus is on revenue. We did what we needed to do, and the staff did what they needed to do, and compromising and making things and assisting us in becoming more efficient. Right now, we work on revenue, the renovation, which is going to help us a lot. We can admit a higher acuity resident and therefore increase reimbursement that way.
Okay.
Hopefully run a higher occupancy of hopefully close to the 250 license.
Do you take in patients from other nursing homes, like the prison takes in prisoners from other counties, the jail takes in prisoners from other counties? Do you take in, is there something similar with the nursing home where you get reimbursed because there might be overcrowding in
No,
another county?
Definitely not.
You don't have that.
I mean, if someone may leave a nursing home because they didn't like the care or they want to be closer to home, and they will come to us from another nursing home,
Okay.
but not like a jail.
Are you looking,
Yeah.
you know, I was not the best example, but you
Right.
know what I'm getting at. Are you doing anything in terms of fundraising? Are you allowed to do anything in terms of fundraising and naming rights for the different?
We can.
can.
I think that is, again, something that could be on the table. Right now, we're looking at different programs. Albany County Nursing Home was a 400-bed facility at one time.
Yeah.
They were lowered due to the Bergen Commission
Right.
report. So we have empty units. We're now looking at different tenants that we believe could occupy that space
Because-
and, again, offset the deficit.
Yeah, but can't you do like the hospitals do with each room dedicated by such and such company and, you know, have different, have the county nursing home be like the, you know, Knickerbocker Arena used to be.
Right.
And now it's the Times Union Center. Can't you have some sort of naming?
The
of
answer
different
to that
wings
question
and
is I would have to check with the legal department. But being that we are a not-for-profit, I believe that we are allowed to fundraise.
Right.
And we could have naming rights. I think it's something that could be looked at in the future. Clearly, people have approached me in the past, since I've been in Albany County Nursing Home, to possibly donate and fix up an area of our facility and have naming rights. So it is
Yeah.
something that can be done.
I'm sure.
That's a one-time dollar amount, which doesn't hurt, but we need a continuous
necessarily.
revenue cycle.
Not necessarily, because you could say, okay, this amount is for a 5-year period. When I was with the Knights
really?
of Pythias, you know, we gave a hospital, I don't know, like $5,000 so that we could have a walkway or a hallway dedicated to us for 5
Right.
years. And, or an emergency room bay, maybe, at another hospital. So it was for a 5-year period. Then the name comes off, and then you can go ahead and have it.
Well, that's a
named by
very good
someone.
idea. I'll have to write that down and then check with the legal department to make sure it's okay.
I'm available if you want someone to help you with that.
That's all
I'm a
right.
good consultant.
Believe me, I lean on everyone to try to get as much assistance as I can at the
Because
facility.
this is a very generous area. There are a lot of people who really would get, and with your connections
Mhm.
down in Long Island, I'm sure you could bring some of that money up here also.
Well, I think that you're right. I mean, it is one state, and I do know a lot of people in Albany, you know, mainly because our association is up here.
Right.
So a lot of our meetings over the years have been here, both professionally and for the association
Is
itself.
it the Nursing Home Association, or what's it
The
called?
New York State Health Facilities
Oh,
Association,
it's the health
which is
facilities.
on 33 Elk, which is
Okay.
like literally around the corner.
Okay.
And then we also have Leading Age, which is the not-for-profit association.
All right, so let me just bring this up so people don't yell at me about, you know, you let them skate or something, you know.
Right.
But what happened, in your view, in your words, I don't want to say, on Long Island with New Health? Can you just give us?
Why I left?
Yeah, a sanitized version of maybe what.
Well, it's really very simple. I worked, I originally started as a consultant, trying to help a friend out of mine who's actually still works there. Because they don't do nursing homes. They had the engagement to work at the medical center and the nursing home. So he called me up and asked me if I would go over there. And I said, all right, I'll help out. The helping out turned out that I was there 7 years later running A. Holly Patterson, the nursing home. The CEO was fairly new. He was there a couple years, probably, maybe I was in 5 years. He was hired in my 5th or 6th year. Archie Anelli, great guy, was the CEO. After 2 years, he asked me if I could hire someone to run the nursing home and come over and be COO of the medical center and run the medical center. Okay. So I said, I've never done it before, but why not? You know, so I went over and I spent the next 5 years there, you know, working with Art, fixing things, and I think we did a fabulous job. The administration changed for the second time, meaning we were there through the Democratic era. Then the Republicans won an election. After that 4-year stint, they were reelected. And shortly after that, my CEO left after they got reelected. And after he left, I said to myself, you know, I just really didn't want to be in that environment without him there. Because we had just a great working relationship. They wanted me to stay.
What happened with this issue that you had someone that you wanted in as a contractor and...
Oh, that?
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with me leaving at all.
But it had something to do with your tenure there. I was asking if you could just tell us about it.
Not really.
No.
No, not at all. I mean, they knew everything that went on with me.
Yeah.
Nothing got approved without going through the proper channels.
Right.
And we ultimately went to court. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. We ultimately was heard in court in front of a judge.
Right. But they were upset that you brought in a company for cleaning something or for...
Oh, my superiors weren't upset.
No, the county DA was, I guess, or something.
Well, they could be upset at anyone if they choose on any given day. No, the county DA.
I'm trying to see what the...
Yeah, the county DA.
Yeah. Personal laundry services.
That's correct.
Yeah.
They said that I brought in a friend, gave a friend the contract without going through the proper bidding process.
And the person, I guess the company who lost the contract was upset and maybe went to the DA.
That is correct, and other people as well. There was one of the investigators, even way before that, was looking into different things that were allegations that were made for a 4 to 5 year period. They didn't find anything during that period. Then this came up. Yeah. And the crazy part of it, that there was 2 parts to a bid.
Yeah.
And the person who was complaining, his bid that he won was like $1.2 million a year. And the other bid was $100,000. He got the $1.2 million. They said supposedly my friend who was in the same business got the $100,000 bid. And they said that I didn't follow proper protocols or procedures in awarding the bid. And what I try to explain is I don't award bids.
Okay.
That's not my job. There's a procurement department. I don't award anything. Okay, I could recommend, I could interview. There's a bidding process, and nothing gets approved without procurement. And they approved it.
Yeah.
And that was the bottom line.
Your hands are clean.
My hands were totally clean. We went to court. We were there for 4 days.
No pun intended on laundry services, but
right.
your hands
No,
were clean.
it was, let me tell you, it was a scary experience. I've never been through that in my entire career of over 40 years. Standing there and having your life, and you know.
I asked this of Preet Bahara also. When you're accused like this and then you're found not guilty, where do you go to get your reputation back?
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. I think what really ended up happening in this particular case, many people in the industry know me.
Yeah.
I received during the entire process, if I received 100 calls, probably
Yeah.
200 phone
In
calls from
support of
friends
it.
in
Yeah.
support of me.
Yeah, yeah.
No one called me and said, no, I'm happy this happened to you. And everyone knew me. They knew I couldn't have done anything that was wrong. And when the verdict was given of not guilty, not acquitted, not guilty,
guilty, yeah.
on both charges, because we went through the entire process.
Okay.
And it was,
Yeah.
article was written. The Newsday wrote, they didn't put me on like page 25.
Oh.
It was like page 2.
When they said you were not guilty, yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
And they did the right thing. Even Newsday did the right thing. So, and they were there during the entire trial.
So the
They had, DA probably had around 6 or 7 witnesses. We had 1.
You?
No.
No.
No, they wouldn't put me on
Who was
stand.
the?
We had one person who actually was the activity director at the
Okay.
time.
All right.
And resident complaints in a nursing home traditionally are heard at resident council.
Yeah.
So they knew the problems that we had with one of the vendors
Okay.
that I was trying to disqualify
Okay.
of receiving the award, which I have a right to do, meaning all I could do is recommend to disqualify. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And she just came in to validate all the problems we had, because everyone on the other side said, oh, there were never any problems with that linen company. But there were numerous problems with that linen company.
Well, I really, congratulate you for what you're doing to help us here. We're very fortunate to have you here.
Right.
Congratulations on being found not guilty, not just
Yeah.
acquitted,
Thank you.
but not guilty.
Not guilty.
I just wanted it to be aired out just as a matter of fact, and didn't want to get into a debate about anything. I just wanted to have people hear in your own words.
Well, yeah, I was happy when
Yeah,
it was over,
I'm
and
sure.
I knew, a lot of people stand in front of the cameras and go, I'm innocent, I'm innocent. But I really was innocent, and I didn't do anything. And the judge saw through everything, and I think made the right
You're
decision.
probably happy the DA is now a congresswoman.
We were very happy when that happened.
All right, Larry, we're out of time, and
Okay.
we're just very glad about your success. I'm sure
Thank you.
everybody in Albany County is too, saving a lot of money and doing well for the residents of Albany County Nursing Home.
Right.
So we wish you a lot more success, and come back and tell us about what's
Yeah.
being
It's
accomplished.
a real honor to have you. Thank you
Well,
very
thank you.
much.
Happy to
for
be
the
here.
time.
Happy
Thank
to
you.
be here. Thank you.